Welcome to another episode of Chef Knives to Go Quick Look Reviews. I'm Steve Kamash, and what we have is the Kurosaki Raijin Nakiri 165mm knife. So the way these are constructed, it's the steel is listed as cobalt stainless, so I guess it's a proprietary formulation that I don't want to release the information about, but I would bet that the Chef Knives to Go forums, they probably have at least one post on what is the steel, and everybody's trying to guess at what actually might be. Heat treats around 63 Rockwell on that, so it should have very nice edge retention and fine grain. It's probably a powdered metallurgy type of steel. The construction has a soft stainless cladding on either side of that hard core steel, and so this is an all stainless blade with a very, very interesting pattern. Kurosaki-san always comes up with these really cool, interesting patterns that he puts on these knives. It's quite unique and really very beautiful, usually a very dynamic type of pattern with some motion to it. So weight and dimensions on these can vary just a little bit. This particular one is 141 grams or 5 ounces and pretty darn light, as you can see. Edge length is right about 160 on the usable length from the back of the heel to part of the way through that curve on the tip. The useful cutting surface, overall length about 310 millimeters on the whole blade. And then this one's pretty thin. It's about 2.2 millimeters thick on the spine above the back of the heel. And then I measured about 1.75-ish, about halfway down, and pretty much just holds that to the end. And then blade height, I got about 51 millimeters at the back and about 52, almost 53 halfway down. So you can see it gains some height as you get down towards the end of the blade. The handle is just a good standard octagonal ambidextrous rosewood with a black packawood ferrule. And per usual, the glue-up joints where the tang goes into the handle's pretty, tightly done, as is the norm for these knives. 72-ish millimeters is what I got on circumference right here where the two materials meet. And then we've got a good gentle curve here with a good spot for a pinch grip, your finger in a pinch grip. Speaking of that balance point, this handle is about right there, this particular blade, which is, for me, just about on the money for a pinch grip. So it's a very neutral feel to it. Let's see, let's get our beauty shot here for our cover on the video. And then, as you can see, you've got a very interesting, unique pattern. Every knife's going to be a little different. The knife also has laser edge kanji on top of that right here. And then the cladding line, I'll show you on the other side. For whatever reason, the lighting's a little bit easier on the left side of the blade here. So this is the left side as you'd be holding it. No kanji on this side, but you can really see that pattern pop. And then the grind down towards the edge, and there's your cladding line there. So that's about as good as I can show you that cladding line. It's actually a little faint in person, so that's kind of what it looks like. Fit and finish is really nicely done on these as per usual. Some polish on the spine, relief on the corners of that, so it's very comfortable. A lot of work on the choil back here into the neck, and so this has got some relief to it. Very nice 6, maybe 7 out of 10 out of the box edge on my scale. Nice straight blades, really good grinds. This is an excellent line of knives, as are pretty much everything he puts out. So this is the edge profile on this Nakiri. And so pretty flat overall, just a little bit of belly and kind of a good general purpose Nakiri profile. You can totally rock these if you want. There's a little bit of a curve there at the tip, so for sure, if you want to rock it, go ahead. Not a problem. Not going to be over high stuff because it's just not a very long blade, but you can totally rock this if you wanted to. Push-pull cuts, glide cuts, great for chopping. It's not super flat, but you don't want a dead flat Nakiri either. It would be a real headache to use because you'd have to get it exactly up and down, or it would start hitting the front and back and would not be fun to use at all. So you want a little bit of belly to these to make them user-friendly, and so this has a pretty good balance on that. So here we have the Kurosaki Raijin Nakiri 165mm knife.